If you're currently not enrolled in the Tiny Airlines Academy, or you're waiting for that sweet prestige item that's coming soon, here are 20 tips that will help you be a better Tiny player. 1. Toss enemy heroes away from the runes. If you target the neutral camps just when the runes are about to spawn, you can also guarantee that you'll also be able to see the neutral camps if you place a ward on the high ground. This is especially important for the top lane runes because they're on the high ground areas the neutral camps are. 2. Toss allies onto runes. This can be really good if your ally has an AoE stun like Earthshaker or Slarder. Just make sure that you don't toss them into their death, because then you're really going for the Tiny Airlines Academy, your front runner seat for it. 3. You can toss enemies who are in the fog. You have a 275 radius. This is really good against heroes who stand in the trees at very predictable spots, like Pudge going for a hook. He always stands in a spot here near like the safe lane tower, and you can toss them out to your own creep wave or something like that. Really good way of catching heroes. 4. Exploit your attack range with tree grab. You have a really long attack range, so if you hide in the tree line and then come out to do a last hit, this can be really good at the first level or two because you don't really have much defensive capability. It's also harder for the enemy to harass you while you're hiding in the trees. 5. Avalanche does multiple instances of damage. This is really good at destroying Templar Assassin's Refraction or even Tree Protector's Living Armor. 6. Toss does damage to towers, but it can't be targeted. So when you're pushing a creep wave, when your allied creeps come up to the tower, toss the creep that's near the tower, and then you'll just do splash damage to that tower. Really nice way of getting the tower killed quicker. 7. Main damage combo. You can do an avalanche, toss, and then an attack. Make sure you always do the attack. Turn on auto attack if you're not able to do it. While they're flying in the air, you can still attack them. And this combo is really good because if you use avalanche, that duration is 1.8 seconds. A toss lasts 1.3 seconds. And while they're tossed in the air, your avalanche does significantly more damage. So once you do the avalanche, if you don't toss them within half a second, you're not going to get that maximum damage output. The other thing that would be very beneficial to maximize this even further is to get a tree beforehand, and then if there's a hero that's really hard to catch, you can maximize your damage by tossing the tree too just after your first attack, because your attack speed is so slow. You get this extra attack that comes out, and that attack from the tree throw is the same as your physical attack that you normally have. 8. Unit target versus ground target for the tree throw. So if you target the unit, it acts like a homing missile, but the players, if they're good, they can be given enough time to disjoint it with something like Manta or a Blink Dagger. The other thing is that you can target the ground, and when you target on the ground, it has a really big hitbox, so you have to be careful not to hit other units. But the big advantage, which comes into point number 9, is you get vision from the tree toss. So when you throw it on the ground, you can provide vision along the tree line where maybe say there's a tinker hiding. When you end up hitting someone with the tree, whether it be a creep or a hero, that gives vision on that spot specifically for 2 seconds. It will not chase after the hero, the vision, it will just be that one spot in particular. This can sometimes also be used to exploit vision that's up on a cliff. So if you have a sentry that's on the low ground and you want to see for a small amount of time up on the high ground, see if the enemy has an observer board, you can do that too. However, it's not enough time to be able to deward that observer, but it's good to just scout that area. You can also use that vision from the scouting of the tree to look into Roshan too. 10. Tree Volley. This is your Aghanims Scepter upgrade. Each attack has True Strike and it acts the same as a melee attack. This is the same interaction as your tree throw, but it has multiple instances on one spot. This means if you have more damage on your attacks, your Aghanims Scepter does more damage, and you also can stack this as well with armor reduction with Assault Cuirass. 11. Toss enemy heroes back to your creep wave, and sometimes even under your own tower. This can be really good if you toss them like back. Your creep wave aggroes the enemy, they take damage even without the tower. But if you want to get maximum effective out of this, toss them to the ranged creep, because that way the melee creeps will be body blocking them when they're trying to go along their path. 12. Hero combos. You can do this, and there's so many really good ones. Some of the really common ones that you end up seeing are Toss plus Rupture, Toss plus Echo Slam. You have even stuff like Bat Rider, where effectively you can do like a lasso toss and it doesn't end the lasso. You can also do other stuff with the interactions against Spirit Breaker to cancel his charge. These are really good things to know, especially the Spirit Breaker one, because of the fact that the hero is really popular right now. 13. Don't hold on to 1-2 charges of tree grab. You might need the charges in the next team fight. If you went to a team fight and you only have 1 charge, the cooldown doesn't start until you're out of charges, so effectively you won't be able to get tree grab again unless you have that cooldown reduction talent that comes a little bit later in the game. So basically, if you're walking around the map and roaming, toss that 1 tree away, maybe to get vision or to kill a creep camp or something like that. 14. You need a mana regen. Oh, you use up a lot of mana on this hero. Soul Ring, really good, and battle. You can get arcane boots, but I basically think they're kind of like more expensive. Either way, just get mana regen on this hero, it's really important. 15. Toss heroes to your allies. This can be something simple like techies placing mines down and you toss the enemy to the mines. But something that's really important is when the enemy's pushing high ground. You can toss them back even as far as the tier 4 tower. It has a really long cast range on toss, and this can be really big against the Aegis carrier because it can sometimes open up the opportunity to kill them twice because they've like pretty much gone so deep into your base. 16. Use your tree throw to last it. If there's a creep with low HP and your attack animation is going to be too slow, you can do damage quicker by just tossing that tree. When you have more levels of grow, your ultimate, this will actually make your attack speed slower. It's weird, but that's just the way it is, and it can effectively make it easier to last hit a little bit later on by doing that. 17. Cancel the enemy's regen items using your tree throw. This is really high value if you manage to cancel the enemy's salve, but the tree throw has a really long cast range and a lot of people underestimate it and forget that you're not just a melee hero. 18. Farming lane creeps. If you toss the range creep to the melee creeps, this will often kill the range creep very quickly, and you can also do a splash damage attack with the tree grab. 19. Farming the jungle. If you have 1 creep left in a creep camp that you're farming, toss that 1 creep to the next creep camp. It will kill that 1 last creep you had in the current camp, and then it will aggro the next camp, and you'll effectively be slightly more efficient at higher GPM. Alternatively, you can use your tree throw to aggro the next creep camp that you're going to farm. And finally, 20, you can stack the camps if you use it in combination with your tree throw, especially on camps that you don't have vision of. Hopefully these 20 tips will help you get into the Tiny Airlines Academy next time. So if you want to see more Dota content like this, make sure you subscribe.